Hello children, welcome back to the virtual learning class. This is a chapter 12, making communication easier. This is a second video with respect to this chapter. Contents that we are going to learn in this session are about telephone, fax, mass media, cinema, the computer and internet. Get started with the telephone. So the person who has invented the telephone is the Alexander Graham Bell. So he's introduced to us this in the year 1876. So when he introduced like a candlestick phone. So right next to him, you see a phone. How does it look like? It looks like a candlestick, isn't it? You get to hear from one end and then you have to speak like you used to use it like a mic on the other piece on the hand. Yes. And then with some kind of changes which were happening over the years, people started making different kinds of phone where you get to see over here like a kit test telephone where you have to roll the numbers. Once you start rolling one digit, then it comes back to the normal, and again you will have to dial a second digit. Like if you have 970, first you have to dial a 9, then the ring will come down, then again you have to go and roll the 7. Yes, like that the numbers used to go on. Then with some kind of innovations, they introduced the touch button phone. This is not only just a touch button phone, it has also got a caller ID where you get to see the caller's numbers. Whenever your phone is ringing, you can get to see who's calling you. In those days we never had this opportunity. Later on, when we got this touch button phone, we got an opportunity to see who's calling us and whom we are calling. Are we dialing the right number or not? Yes, and we also get to see the missed calls, received call, and sent calls in this. Yes, children. So, but now, today, in this 20th century, every house has got a mobile phone. And moreover, not just a mobile phone, we also have different versions of the mobiles, isn't it? Like an iPhone versions, you have latest versions in everything in Samsung Galaxy, you have Redmi. Yes, but what is the use of this telephone? Yes, what is the use is that we can sit in our house or wherever we are, we can just call up your friends or your family and you can talk to them at any point of time. The most important thing is that you can roam around, you can carry it wherever you want because this is no more connected with a wire. It is a wireless phone which is your pocket friendly. You can put it in your pocket and you can go around. The other thing is that children, we need to know STD and the ISD codes of the city outside our country so that we can call them up using those codes. Yes. Moving on further, it's about facts. So there was a famous person called a Scottish mechanic whose name is Alexander Bain. He's the one who's first introduced the fax machine in 1843. So, now that it is popular as a fax machine, when it was introduced, they used to call it as facsimile. Now it is better known as fax. What is the job of this fax machine? It transfers copies of documents to us. It is essentially like an image scanner. It scans the images and it more or less like it gives like a computer printout. Whenever you give a print in your computer, you get like a computer printer. Yes. A fax is sent through the telephone wires, and a fax machines are basically used in offices to send, receive documents to and fro. You can receive from any part of the world and you can send it to any part of the world. So long, children, been learning about the personal modes of communication like a post and telegraph, like writing letters and postcards and dropping it in the drop box. And then we've learned about parcels, and then about the telephone, how the telephone has changed the way of talking to people. It brought us together. So let's learn something more about how to reach a large number of groups in a short period of time. This happens only through a mass media. So what is mass media? Yes, the means of communication that reach a large number of people in a short time is called as mass media. So the best examples are the radio, television, cinema, books, magazines, newspapers, internet, are the various means of mass communications. So, however, the books, newspapers, and magazines are the printed materials. They're also the cheapest means of mass communication, and it is available for the people in different languages. If somebody doesn't know how to read English, it is available for them in Telugu, or maybe in Hindi, or maybe in Tamil. Okay, so it is available for large group of people at a cheaper cost. Now, there's a famous person and an Italian scientist who invented radio. His name is Guglielmo Marconi. He's the one who's introduced this wireless communication. So today, people who live in villages and in small towns enjoy listening to the news, songs, and educational programs, and they get entertained and enlightened through the radio. So let's learn about cinema. Cinema is the most popular forms of communication and entertainment. So, some educational documentaries and movies based on life and culture can be shown to people to cinema with an impact. There will be a huge impact on the mindset of the people, and this is another way of mass communication, isn't it? People who wants to, make a career in sports or things like that, they can watch so many inspirational movies like MS Dhoni, Dangal, isn't it? Yes, and there are also so many biopics of the famous politicians and the famous personalities which has been directed by so many directors in the film industry, like our ex-minister like N.T. Ramarao and then Rajshekhar Reddy. These are some of the inspirational biopics. Well, with an advent of the television, mass media got revolutionized. People could not only listen to the sounds, but also they could see what was happening all over the world sitting before the TV sets at their home. So, the famous person who introduced the television for us was the John Baird. He was a Scottish inventor, he was an electrical engineer and an innovator. He demonstrated the world's first working television for us. So, children, every house has got a television, and you know what is happening around the world. We get to see it on our television through the news. Now, did you ever thought, or do you know what makes it possible for us to see so many different TV programs every day? Yes, it is the communication satellites that travel in space, and these communication satellites will transmit signals that are relayed by the Earth stations. That's how we get to see the various, channels on our television sets. And the computer and the internet. As we all know, this famous person, we've been learning about him since our second standard, that's Charles Babbage. He is known as the father of computers, or rather known as the great grandfather of the computers. He's an English mathematician and a famous person who made a machine called as analytical machine that led to the development of computers. He is the one who made this analytical machine from where people started thinking more and made the modern computers now. See, if you have a look at it, the first generation computers were very huge and heavy, but today we have computers that can even fit into our pockets, like you see it on the slide over here, isn't it? We have so many computers that we have it now. An iPad where you can browse internet, where you can communicate with people. So the computer and the internet are the latest and the most interesting means of communication. They provide you opportunities of sending and receiving emails and chat with all over the world, the friends who are all over the world. So not only just emailing and chatting, but you can also have video callings and you may also have the video conferencing. A modem. A modem is a device that connects your homes, usually with your coax cable connection, to your internet service provider. Like everyone, or anyone who's got a Wi-Fi connection at home I'm sure and definitely you must have this modem at home. So this is the one which takes the signals from your ISP and translates them into a signals to your local devices like your mobile phone or a laptop or an iPad. Okay, so the internet is a network of computers that is available to us through an instrument called the modem. So the internet opens a vast world before us here, children, where we can browse the website and read and learn anything and everything on any topic of your choice. If you want to read any stories, you can read it. You want to watch movies, you can watch it. You want to play games, you can play it using the internet. The different means of communications brings us closer. Yes, of course, there are different means of communication like telephone, maybe a television or a laptop or an iPad, anything. So children, this is why we sometimes say that the world has become a small place to live in, isn't it? Yes. Thank you, children. I hope you understood the video. God bless you all. Have a nice day.